The world is facing an unprecedented challenge, a time of grave uncertainty, where the longer-term impact of COVID-19 pandemic will be felt for years to come, even after the immediate shock and response is over. In Asia and the Pacific, we have been at the forefront of the response since the first outbreak, and we have seen firsthand the devastating effects the pandemic has as it ravages through our communities and homes. We have also witnessed the indirect effects that the pandemic has on the lives of women and girls in particular, on inequalities, and as a threat to sustainable development. The Secretary General has just called for an end to violence in the home. As uncertainties grow and movement becomes restricted, domestic violence is spiking in our communities.
I appealed for an end to violence everywhere now. But violence is not confined to the battlefield. For many women and girls, the threat looms largest where they should be safest, in their own homes. And so I make a new appeal today for peace at home and in homes around the world. We know lockdowns and quarantines are essential to suppressing COVID-19, but they can trap women with abusive partners. Over the past weeks, as economic and social pressures and fear have grown, we have seen a horrifying global surge in domestic violence.
In Asia and the Pacific, UN Women is working with governments, with UN teams, civil society, and others to ensure that essential services remain intact and available to those who need it most. As schools close, as people become ill, we are also seeing an unprecedented increase in unpaid care work, a burden that is mostly falling on women. Now is the time for all of the society to come together, and it's time for men to equally share the burden of care. Now is also the time for us to finally place value on this work done by unsung heroines day in and day out. In our response, UN Women is lobbying for the consideration of unpaid care work and to ensure that women are not left behind as financial stimulus packages are being rolled out. As places of work close, we must ensure that women, who often work in vulnerable employment, in agricultural sectors, in waged work, are not disproportionately affected. This is particularly the case for female-headed households. Most importantly, we are engaging with women themselves to better understand their asks, their immediate needs, and provide support in ensuring that their leadership is included in the response. UN Women is coordinating closely with the civil society partners and women's machineries on addressing how the response can be inclusive and how we can ensure that no one is left behind. This pandemic will be a test for our humanity, for our generation and generations to come. Our response today will inform the world of tomorrow. It is imperative that we ensure that we safeguard the development gains made on gender equality and women's empowerment. Together, we can overcome this. But it will require grit, trust, a coming together of the whole society, of the whole community. UN Women is proud to work with women and men who inspire change every day and who are at the forefront of shaping a more equal world. We stand with you, we stand by you in solidarity.